Okay, so this is the last part of my review and experience with the EVO Planner. I've been working with it for a while, and I'm about to tell you what I have discovered and what my experience is. Now, your needs and experiences might be different. This is just my opinion. Here it goes. So, day one of the EVO Planner. I think I did okay. It's not amazing. But I'll show you. I filled out the week plan. I did not really like the to-do section of the week plan because, I'm sorry, I've got more things to do and brain dump than that. So I ended up just writing to check to-doist because that's where I brain dump. But I used it instead to plan what my Facebook Lives would be for the week and to just kind of highlight what the priorities were because the bottom priority part was helpful. But the to-do section for me, not helpful. I've not done the week review yet because of course the week's not done yet. I will do an update then. But day one of using the planner itself, this is what it ended up looking like when I was done. I failed miserably at not planning too many things in one day as I tend to do, and I think for my personality type they probably don't need 3 options per grouping of the day because they broke it down into morning, afternoon, and evening. They probably need maybe 1 or 2. I think 3 is too many because seeing 3 got me to want to fill in all 3, which that's impossible. So I think for myself I might cross off a couple of each section so I can't write too many things in it so it can narrow my focus. But no, other than that though, it went really well. I liked what I'm grateful for and being able to write that down at the beginning of my day and forcing myself to decide what the most important task of the day is. I already kind of did that before the planner and I really believe in that one. And I like the end of the day review. I don't know that the app is all that exciting for the review because it just kind of records your score, but yeah, the end of the day review is kind of nice to see what I succeeded with, what I didn't. You can see at the bottom here is where you kind of review your day and decide what was interesting and important. But that's my day one review. I like it. I'm not in love with it yet, but I think that this is going to just be a habit that has to be built. So it's going to get a good run from me working on it every day, and we'll see how it goes. End of day one. Okay, so I've been really trying to stick with doing my EVO planner every day, and I'm 90% successful, maybe, but I'm still really struggling with this one. I just don't think that this is necessarily for me because I'm finding that every day I'm adding post-its in order to be able to write the things that I need to do because it lets you write the big stuff, but sometimes there's just a bunch of little stuff. So I'm still sticking with it. I'm trying. And I appreciate that I can see my progress as far as what days I'm doing my health and wellness and gratitudes and how I'm doing with that. So that's really nice to see in the app. I don't know really what else the app is good for besides just tracking that because I can't even get it to scan right. But I'm not giving up yet. I promise to see it through for a little bit longer, and I will. And well, that's like day 7 so far of the EVO Planner. We'll see. Okay, so I have to admit I'm sort of giving up on the app. So I can't really get it to scan. Like whenever I try, let's see if I can do it now. Watch it work, right? Yep. Nothing's happening. So I end up having to manually enter, and it does not really track anything interesting. It just kind of grades what I said each day as far as what I rated, how I did in each category. So not worth it. It's like day 14 right now. And app, not doing it. So first off, the EVO Planner can be found at projectevo.org. So that's projectevo.org. Let me tell you a little bit more about it there. I still do think that this is a beautiful planner. They did a great job with packaging it and presenting it. It's very well made. So when I pull out this planner, I do kind of feel like I'm something special with the gold. It's kind of a almost rose gold side, and they've got some great ribbons with the day and the week to keep track of where you're at. I added my own extra tab to find another page that I used frequently. But not all of my experience has been positive. So I got the 3-month version for, I think it was like $39. It's $39 now. They are, as far as I can tell, only selling it still through Indiegogo. It was originally Kickstarter is where I got it. So as of right now, which is August in 2018, from what I can tell, through Kickstarter they made $367,000, a little bit more. And through Indiegogo, they've made a little bit more than $773,000. So super well funded. I was excited, just as everybody else was. Now, if you want the full year version, currently it's listed as $127. Because like I said, this is 3 months, and the full year version is actually, from what I can tell, 4 of the 3-month planners for the different quarters. They also do have an option where you can get additional coaching along with your planner. So they've got a package right now for $797, which includes 3 months of coaching, which from what I've researched, it seems to be every 2 weeks you get a 15-minute phone call with a coach. I'm not too sure I'm sold on that either, because as a productivity coach, it takes me 15 minutes just to find out what's, a little bit of your backstory and what's working for you. I don't know that I can give you anything of value in only 15 minutes, except for giving you ideas that aren't really tailored to you. So if it were me, I would skip the coaching part for sure, because that's just not effective. Find yourself a productivity coach outside of that, and you will get a lot more bang for your buck. That's a super high price for coaching at 15 minutes. But back to the planner. So the planner itself, as I mentioned, this is just a 3-month planner, and it's already this big. They have a lot of excess in it. I was hoping that it would be more helpful because the whole goal is that it's tailored to your personality type, and I'm the explorer personality. But it does still list every personality type in the front and how to understand it, how to work with it. I appreciate the how to work with other personality types. I might not need this in every planner I get and the instructions, but it was super handy. So not the worst thing. I went through my month. The month page is just like any other month planner. There's days of the month, and then I wrote down at the bottom they have a spot for your monthly goals and your work and personal goals. Kind of helpful. On the side they have projects and to do, but that's super tiny. The problem is there is nothing in here that helps guide you on how to figure out what your goals are or set goals or track longer term goals. So this month goal is great if you're really good at setting your own goals, and if you're already keeping track of it somewhere else. So this will keep track of it for a little while for you, but it's not going to track a larger goal over time quite as easily as I would think that it would for the price. Then we move into the week space, They have a weekly plan, so within the weekly plan page, as you can see, they've got work and personal and gratitudes, or favorite moments and what you learned that week. It is good to review your week. So I found I liked reviewing my week and the reminder for that. It did not go very in-depth with the review of my week. And there is no way I could fit a week's worth of ideas and things to do in this little spot. So I ended up still using my app for all of my little to-dos, because there's no way that this is enough space for an entire week of all my work and personal stuff. And as far as the tracking, it has at the bottom, you can see you fill in the bubbles and how you think you did, but there's not really any space to analyze why, what made it good, what made it not so good, what the habit was that could maybe be adjusted if it was not so good, or what you were really rocking. And I wanted more information. Analyzing the week and grading it is fine, but that really just stops at the surface and does not get me anywhere towards change. It's just tracking. So the week, hit or miss, it's okay. I was expecting more, but I really was interested in the today. So let me pull one of my days up like this. As you can see, I liked that they split out the morning, afternoon, and evening sections, because that helped me to kind of break out the time. And it is good that they did not have a lot of space there, because you can really only do a couple of things in each of those time chunks. So it did make me limit how many things I wrote down instead of my really long list that I like to do, and that's unreasonable. It also at the top has you list your priorities for the day, which is great. So I knew which of those things were the most important. So I really like that. The only problem is there are so many times that I need supporting information to go with some of my to-do items, and there's not really a space for notes for that. So what I ended up doing a lot of the time was adding a post-it with some of the little micro tasks that I had to do, quick phone calls or quick emails, and with supporting information. So if I had a task on there and I needed just a bullet point of some of the things that need to go on, then I had to add a post-it within the journal, because there's just no space for that. Also, it's the same tracking somewhat as the week. So you can see that you just kind of score your day. They do at least ask you what your favorite thing was from the day for each category, which is nice. It's so-so though, as far as tracking. I don't feel like it made me grow at all. It just kind of was a fun little tracking thing. And then finally, on my left hand side is what I'm grateful for, what health activity I'm going to do, what the highest priority is, and a tiny note section, and how I will create adventure. Those are okay. I think that the gratitude and wellness were helpful. The most important task of the day is sort of repetitive because I already listed the priorities on the other side, and the create adventure was kind of better for the week. Not every day can create adventure, and then I just kind of felt stumped a lot of the time. So a little adjusting, but that's a lot of wasted space that could have been even more notes area or the tiny to-do area, and made this a lot more useful, because as it stands right now, having to add post-it notes and not really being able to get much of an idea of my day besides just a couple bullet points of what I'm going to do, this is more of a emotions tracker than it is a true planner, if you ask me. Then finally, I tested out the app. Now, I really had a lot of hope for the app, and I stuck to it for a while. The app really was highly unimpressive. Even they have a section in the app for trainings, and it kind of fell flat. There was nothing new in there. There was nothing really in depth. It was all sort of superficial trainings that didn't really do a whole lot for me, and there weren't a lot of them. Not that much that's tailored to my personality type, it felt like. And then and so few of them that it was definitely not worth the app purchase. But then also you're supposed to scan the QR code at the bottom of the page. So I was hoping that this would mean that it would save my pages where I could look back and see what I did on those days, or at least save what I wrote at the bottom. But most of the time it would not even scan, and I had to enter things manually, and it only tracked how I graded myself on each of the categories. It did not even save the why. So I got an interesting overview of how happy I was over the week, of how much I exercised, just kind of how many days, like 5 days out of 7 I exercised or did a wellness activity. And that was
the extent of the reports is just regurgitating how you rated each day in each category, but not going anything more in depth. And it's an app where you have to pay per month. I think it's $2.99 per month in order to use those features, and not worth it. So overall, beautiful, beautiful planner, but for me, highly unworth it and extremely overpriced. So if you're considering an EVO planner, think about how much space you really need. Yes, they have a notes section in the back, but for one, I like my notes to be near it, and it's just kind of blank paper in the back for a couple pages, and that's it. Yeah, I would say maybe think about a different planner, look at some other options, because if you're paying $39 for 3 months, you know, $127 for a year, I would think that you would expect a bit more from it. So kind of overfunded, overhyped, underdelivered, but well done on the printing. That's my review. That's my experience. I'd love to hear what you think of your EVO planner if you've tried it out, or if you have any other planners that are hot and new, or products that you'd like to see me review, because I'm always looking for some new great things that can help people out. If you've not checked out my Rocketbook review, which went over a little bit better, it happens to be one of my all-time favorite products, check out in my videos the Rocketbook Everlast notebook and how I adjusted it to be more of a bullet journal. It's pretty cool. And that's actually still one of my favorite planners, is my Rocketbook. So I will see you over on that video. I hope that this has been helpful for you, and I will talk with you soon. Much love.